Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tuesday nights. It's the time of the week again for the 150 Mini Challenge International, and it's round 5, and we're live from Cadwell Park. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth from Tom Cairns here this evening. It's going to be a very, very exciting one indeed. Jake Hewlett leading the standings at this moment in time with 118 points, but it's not here this evening. Chris McIntosh sitting in second place. He's sitting in second in qualifying to go. We've got 3 minutes left to qualifying, and then we've got 2 races. Second one with a full reverse grid. But let's welcome in Tom. Tom, welcome in. How are you?
Hello, James. Hello to everyone. Yes, we are here at the Lincolnshire circuit of Cadwell Park, located in the area of Louth. It's quite an interesting racetrack here. Obviously, it's home to British Superbikes whenever they do race here during the year. And yeah, it's safe to say it's a very, very narrow part of the circuit. We just see Will Johnson go through the last part of the corner. I think it's Farm and then Barn before he goes down the pit straight.
Yeah, that's one of the, I would say, characteristics of Cadwell, but I'm not entirely sure that's a good idea, to be blatantly honest, to call it that, because it is a very, very tight, twisty circuit. It's going to be interesting to see how they get on through this middle section. You can see here on board with Dave Tudor through the right up over the brow of the hill. Then you're going to be coming into a right-hander again, which is instantly going to throw you left. There's the right, there's the left, and then just after that is another right. Down the hill, left, and then you're on for a march. You think you got a winner, and then you got to turn right again, and then a double right, and then you've got a nice flowing, I don't know, back stretch, I suppose, that allows you to keep going. But it is a very, very, very tight racetrack. You know, we've seen the odd moments here where there's been a little bit of ta-ta-ta between drivers. Tom, surely this racetrack just lends to more of that, doesn't it?
It does. And the drivers are just getting to grips around this racetrack. Some will have practiced beforehand. Got about 90 minutes remaining. 90 seconds, you say. 90 minutes seems like a long time. 90 seconds of qualifying. And it's so far so good for Justin Kirk, who hasn't picked up a win yet this season, but he could do with one this evening, couldn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think, you know, there's a couple of people who can make big strides here due to, obviously, you've got low numbers, you've got 8 cars on the race circuit. We'll see how they all get on, but they're quite close together, which is quite good for us. It means they're going to be evenly matched on the race course, on the race circuit, as long as there's no real dramas and they start having, you know, their own little ta-ta-tas and turning each other off. But I think this is the thing, there's a couple of people that can really capitalise from this. Chris McIntosh is in a fine position as well, because obviously no Jake Hewlett. He's going to be able to bump himself forward in the championship standings. Well,
if he has a solid enough performance this evening, then he's going to head into the last round of the season into the lead, I would imagine. Running down on where we'll be heading to for the last round, it obviously is a circuit in the UK.
Anglesey.
But we've been... Anglesey, that's it. It's the one in Wales that I was thinking of. Thank you for filling me in on that, James. But yes, Anglesey is the last round of the season. We've been to the likes of Brands Hatch, Donington, Alton Park and Knockhill. Tonight is Cadwell Park, and it's to Anglesey in 7 days' time for the finale.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's going to be another interesting one for me. Never been to Anglesey before, so yeah, I'll be interested to see how this circuit goes. I'm more interested to see how they're going to handle this. I've got to be honest, I think. Just coming towards the end of qualifying, and at the moment McIntosh sitting on P1 with Kirk, Hayes, Turner, Johnson, Shooter in behind that, Hayden Gray, and then our good old friend Bob, who's going to be on the racetrack as well, providing some of the action as well. Don't forget, guys, if you are here, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and also give us a, you know, chuck us a message in YouTube chat saying hi, and we will talk back here as well. Just waiting for the last of the drivers to finish off their qualifying, see how it all goes here, and who's going to come out in front. Not if you do that, Will Johnson, you certainly will not.
We'll just see whether we do see any improvements on the last time lap before this session is out. The race 1 grid is determined by the qualifying results, which will be 15 minutes long for the race, and then we have another 15-minute race where it's essentially a full reverse grid of the results from race 1.
Yes, that's how it's how it is. and how it will be next week as well as they come over the line. You can see a couple of people sat in pit lane already. There's Johnson and Kirk still out on track, just waiting for the session to change over, and then we will be on to the grid ready to go. But it's going to be very, very exciting. This middle section, I think it's quite interesting here, because when you look at the track map in general, you know, you start off at Park, you're running down into Park, the right hander, and then you go through Chris Curve, and then it all kind of comes at you rather quickly. Gooseneck, Mansfield, all heading at you. The Mountain, Hall Bends, Hairpin, Barn, they just come at you thick and fast, and that's where I think some of the problems are going to lie for people.
We'll wait and see on that. We have seen some cracking racing around Cadwell Park, and we'll get a whole lot more of it in this mini challenge series. And we've switched over from the qualifying session to the race session, so we're just waiting for the cars to head onto the grid for the first of two races. Chris McIntosh was able to take pole position away from Justin Kirk right at the end, albeit by 38 thousandths of a second. So job well done there to Chris getting up there. And they've got the likes of Sam Hayes, Ryan Turner, Will Johnston, and Dave Tudor, with Hayden Gray and Bob rounding out the grid.
Good old Bob right at the end there as well. We'll see how Bob can get on, but for now let's just wait for this session to swap over. Hopefully should be very, very shortly, and then we can get going here as well, ready for this one. And round 5 at Cadwell Park. Who do you think is going to come out on top, Tom?
It's going to be Chris McIntosh, I think. I was hoping that Jack London would be here tonight as well, because he won one of the races in Knock Hill last week, but unfortunately he's not here, so it has to be Chris McIntosh. I would get my my bet for race number 1.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats. We're going to find out very, very shortly indeed here. The guys are on the grid, ready to go. 2, 4, 6, 7. Just waiting for Bob to jump on, if he's going to jump on, and see if he's going to take part, of course. Hopefully he may do. And we're going to wait for the lights here to get going. Taking its time. Taking its time. There you go, the lights are on your screen, so we are going to be underway with the 7. Remember the engine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lights out and away we go. It is Chris McIntosh getting off the line first, coming down into the right-hander of Park. McIntosh on the right-hand side, Kurtz on the inside, and through they go through the left-hander, and now on the run up through Charlie's here as well. But Chris McIntosh out in front at the moment. Kirk in behind, Hayes in behind that, Turner in behind that, Johnson's gone down. Somebody's on the grass there as well. I think that might be Sam Hayes in front of us on the grass. It's allowed the front two to escape. Hayden Gray, Bob has all come back onto the racetrack as well. They're on the run down the left-hand side at the moment. Who's going to come out on top here? Is it going to be McIntosh? Is it going to be Kirk? At the moment, they all got away fairly cleanly. Few little tufts of incidents towards the back, but everybody else quite clean.
Yeah, nicely done. It's good to see that Gray and Bob have rejoined the field from the pit lane. But nice start there from McIntosh, maintaining his lead at the head of the pack as they make their way through Goosenecks and then heading towards Mansfield. And yeah, this is where they should really look to remain in single file, because I don't expect any overtakes to be happening around this part of the course.
Yeah, we'll see what Kirk's going to be able to do here. Hard on the brakes. There's McIntosh there. Through the left-hander they go. Now through the other side at the moment. Now on that run up through the mountain, coming into Hall Bends. It's a right, left, right. There's the right. There's the left. There's the right as well. Over the jump. Through they go, hard on the brakes. Through the right-hander of the hairpin. This is a tough, tough course. Through the barn, and then on that run down over the line into Coppice once more before we get going. As you can see on the left hand side, McIntosh leads the way. Kirk in behind, Hayes in behind that, Turner, Tudor, Johnson, Gray and Bob. But somewhere here there's a nice little battle developing as Turner and Hayes are going to come together very, very shortly. 8 temps out in front at the moment. McIntosh just kind of escaped down the road, done what he's had to do, and with 13 minutes to go, well, could be his race from lap 2.
It really could be, unless Justin Kerr can just stay in touch with him and make a race of it and put him under pressure throughout this one. And we've seen the two cars of Hayes and Turner running similar liveries to each other. Hayes in front, there's Turner in the 777, heading through the right-hander of Park. And this is the Chris Curve and Goosenecks they'll be heading through. Goosenecks is quite an interesting corner with because of the undulation, and that's what can throw you offline a little bit if you get it wrong. You could go around the bollard there. They seem to have a good handle of this circuit, James, so far.
Yeah, through Mansfield they go. A little bit of run now from Turner in behind Kirk. Now it's that fast left-hander through up into the mountain. It goes hard on the brakes. Oh, you missed it, bro. You missed it. That's going to give him Sam Hayes a run, and away he goes. He unfortunately got that all wrong there, did. Turner in behind. Now he's going to go and try and come after Hayes, who's going after Kirk. Kirk's going after McIntosh, who's going to come out on top at the moment. We're going to find out very, very shortly here. But I think it could be. McIntosh is looking so strong at the moment. I don't think I can really see past him unless Kirk's going to produce something absolutely amazing.
Well, Kirk just took, I think, a tenth or two out of McIntosh's lead on that last sub alone, James. So it's not over yet by any means. If Kirk can just get the gap down and make a race of it with McIntosh, then we've got a race on our hands for the race one victory.
See how close Kirk can get here. Is he going to be able to get up behind him? Is he not going to be able to get up behind him? Is he going to put McIntosh under pressure? McIntosh did say to me earlier on he does have time to throw it away after his qualifying pole position. Let's hope he doesn't. But at the moment, you can see Kirk getting a little bit closer here, a little bit closer. He's going into that long right-hander of Gooseneck, now coming that run down into Mansfield. Do you know the thing you love about this circuit? It's literally using the topography of the surrounding area. It is literally up, down, round a tree, down a tree, through a tree. You know, if there was a tree in the middle of the track, they'd probably build a bridge over it.
Well, I can imagine so. But we've seen McIntosh and Kirk following each other through what I describe as the slalom section of the course, James. You can see right, left, and then right, and then left, and towards the Kirk. Yeah. Well, that's the nature of the section for you.
Yeah, it's just so constant. I don't know if I'd want to see this in any other simulator because I don't really know what cars they would stick around here. Maybe little MX-5s, Formula Vs, maybe something small. Anything bigger than, I don't even think they'd be able to get to a GT4, Tom, to be honest. It would be bedlam.
It would be bedlam. But I like you're saying about the MX-5s because they do get round this Cadwell Park racetrack very, very well. I can say that from experience. But there are Hayes and Turner close in third and fourth around the Park Straight. We're on lap number 4 now of this race. McIntosh's lead is come back up to 2 seconds over Justin Kirk. And I think Kirk is beginning to struggle to keep up now.
Yeah, it does look like a lot of bikes running around here. There is one I'm a little bit worried about, which is going to be very, very interesting, I think. Is the 750 Motor Club Sports and Saloons. And what blinking cars does that involve to get round it? Because that's going to be an absolute mash-up racing, isn't it? With clubs, cars and saloons, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare.
Well, I wouldn't mind saloons going round this racecourse of Cadwell Park. It probably suits this circuit compared to a lot of other circuits. I think, you know, out of all the ones, as you mentioned, you know, you probably would need the narrower, lighter cars to get round this course rather easily. You just see Hayes hopping over the curbs through the slalom section. Out of the hairpin they come, and I think it's a matter of time before Turner can try and get alongside, but there's just no way of getting through around the likes of the hairpin and barn.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think so. Kirk's dropped away now from McIntosh. Tutor, Johnson, Gray and Bob, they're not really near each other. This is probably one of the closest battles on circuit. If you do live near Cadwell Park, actually, there's a lot of events coming up through May. Saturday the 10th and the 11th is the Cadwell Park British Historic Motorcycle Championship on the full circuit, and then you've got the classic race weekend, the 17th and the 18th on the full circuit as well, and then Historic World's Trophy Saturday 24th and Sunday the 25th. That's also on the full circuit here at Cadwell Park. That's partly because I say full circuit, because you're basically on it this evening, but there is a little club circuit and a woodland circuit, which I find would be very, very interesting indeed to see even them circuits get used at all here. I wonder what the woodland circuit is like. That's definitely over and under a tree, isn't it?
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm just focusing on this battle between Hayes and Turner. Turner doing his best to just push Hayes into a mistake. I will say that Hayden Gray, who started from the pit lane, is closing on Will Johnson, but we're just looking at Turner and Hayes. I think Turner will have to... Yeah, no way through the solid section.
No, you would be in deep, deep trouble doing it there. Hard on the brakes he goes. Now, I will fill you in. The woodland circuit actually turns right before the entrance to Coppice. So just after the pit lane on the right-hand side, there is a right turn, and that kicks in the woodland circuit, and then they do that slalom section again. So just to let you know, just about there, under the bridge on the right, just there. And that leads you back round. I don't know why I pointed, you can't see me at home anyway, but just around there, and that basically leads you back round the old in and the twisty bits there, Tom, as well. So there we go.
Yeah, it's the whole bends that's otherwise known as for the slalom section. I'm just looking at the woodland circuit. Yes, you are right. It does sort of shortcut its way round to where the mountain is.
Yeah, and then you're basically about 0.8 of a mile, so that you're going to be anything longer than about 5 minutes. You're going to be dizzy as crazy after that.
Depends how you can handle slaloms, eh? If you're a skier and can handle slaloms, I'm sure you can handle a car going through a slalom.
Mate, I look at people skiing now, and all I see at my age is broken hips. You know what I mean? I probably would be able to stand. And Turner's in the wall! Oh! Ryan Turner having an epic scrap with Hayes. Has gone and buried it in the wall. Tutor's just gone through. Is Johnson going to get there, or is Hayes going to manage to hold on? I think Johnson's going to be tucked in behind him. They're coming up into the mountain section now. Johnson is behind Hayes, but that was in behind Turner, sorry. But that was a massive mistake, especially with only 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, well, that was coming. I mean, Turner had to try something. He was pushing very, very hard, albeit too hard, through the left-hander of Gooseneck. And he's paid the price for it. Now, has he got enough time to go back after Dave Tudor for 4th position and just get back that position before the race is over? He's got time. He's probably got around about 4 laps to get the job done.
Yeah, he definitely has here. Aidan Gray is there as well. He's on the racetrack, sitting in 7th place. Bob's still driving around. Good old Bob. You keep going. But I don't know if Turner's going to have enough time to get there. As much as I love the good old college try here, I think the realism of that 2.1 seconds is probably something he might not make up over Tudor before he gets over the line.
We'll see soon enough, but we see Turner, who's going after Tudor. He has got the pace to do, although he makes a lock-up through Park, and that won't do the tyres any good. Hayden Gray is closing a little again on Will Johnson. He's got the gap down to less than 6 seconds in the fight for 6th position, albeit Johnson is stuck behind Turner now as Turner goes off the circuit again.
He's going to have to be careful. Brian Turner, it looks like he's trying to really wrestle that car at the moment. Johnson's going to close in behind him here. Going to be going up now. Puff of smoke coming out. Turner's feeling the pressure. He's just got that wrong. If Turner can get... Wow, Bollard went straight through the car there. Will Johnson through the right hander. Now he goes. Now in the left. As we said, it's right again. Then over the jump. Down. Hard on the brakes. Hairpin. Round he goes. Wraps it round the right hand side. Stays there. Double right, of course. He's got another one to go through Barn. Now on that run down into Coppice here as well. Johnson sitting in behind, but at the moment it's going to be tough here for Turner. I don't think he's going to get Tudor.
There's a new purple lap for Will Johnson. The same for Hayden Gray. They've posted their best laps of the race so far, those two, which is good to see. Will Johnson posted a 1:36.0, Hayden Gray 1:35.7. Comparing those lap times to what Hayden Gray's just done, the only drivers faster than him on the circuit are the top two.
Yeah, he's done really well, but it's just a surprise that obviously, how's he going to get there? You know what I mean? As it said, 1:35.708 for Gray. He's not far in, but will it make you wonder why we're at the back?
Possibly. It could give him a chance of the race win later.
Well, could do, unless he's... Surely he's not playing that game, is he?
I wouldn't have thought so, but you'll just want to bring that car home.
To be honest with you, Tom, I think I've seen so much during commentating on sim racing, I don't think anything's going to surprise me anymore. It's more than possible that Hayden Gray is doing a little bit of rubbernecking to get to the old front row for race number 2. 2 minutes 11 till to go here. Chris McIntosh is going to come over the line. He's still got Kirk in behind him. We're going to have one more on a 1:35.491 for McIntosh last time around. Great job from him. Do love that yellow liveried machine though, I've got to be blatantly honest. That yellow machine is absolutely awesome. Then again, Kirk's sitting there in a pink car and he shines out like an absolute trooper. So really, it's a bit of a toss-up who's got the better livery here, but they're still quite nice. Tudor and Turner not far away from each other at the moment. It's about 6 tenths, give or take, and there's another 9 tenths back to Johnson, but Turner is definitely closing on Tudor here, Tom, and may, if he can, get him on that final lap.
Well, we'll see. He's within range to try and attack, but he hasn't got a lot of opportunities to get the job done here. You'll just see Tudor lock up there. A lot of smoke out of the tyres there for Tudor, which won't do the car too much good. But now he's going to have to go defensive here with Turner, because Turner looks like he's feeling very, very feisty. Now, they're going through goosenecks, which is where Turner has run wider a couple of times at least already. But at least he gets through this time around.
Yeah, straight down that hill. That plunge is unbelievable. Now in through the left. We're going to have McIntosh going to come over the line, take the final lap, or the white flag lap here very, very shortly. But this section here just, God blimey. Do it in an MX-5. You'd love to see that sliding like a trooper through there. Now through this next bit, and it's the air that they get as well coming over the jump is just unbelievable. Up it goes. Look at that. Wow. Turner didn't even manage to get the car, barely managed to get the car stopped, and I think he landed mainly on the front right tyre.
Yeah, and his line through the right under the hairpin was really poor as well, but having said that, Tudor went too deep into Barn, and that's going to give Turner a chance to really come back in. You just see Hayden Gray in the background closing on these three, but he's not going to have time to catch them.
Yeah, it's going to be what Turner's going to do now. Final lap of the race. Your leader is on his way now up into park. Before the long looping right hand of Chris Curve, and then round to Gooseneck. The fight is going to be here at the moment. Who's going to get his top 4? Turner's going to try and take the line away on the inside. He's going to have that inside line. Tudor did not block it, did not fight it either. Is he going to be able to get the run down into the corner? Now slot in front of him. You've got to take him fully, cut his nose off. Turner's going to try and come back at him through the next part of the right-hander. Through Chris Curve we go. Your leaders on their way coming through the mountain. We will pick up on them a little bit later on. But Ryan, Turner, Tudor, Johnson going to be battling it out here. If the overtake isn't done, his eyes off. Tudor's in the wall.
Oh, that's a terrible shame for Tudor. I don't know whether Turner put him in the wall or whether Tudor just lost it by himself. But either way, Chris McIntosh is coming up to lap Bob on his way to a brilliant victory here at Cadwell Park.
Yeah, race 1 is going to be done and dusted. If I was Bob, I'd let him go, then I wouldn't have to drive another lap. Go round him. Oh, poor Bob. Off you go, son. Over the line, says Chris McIntosh. Takes the win in race number 1. That's one step forward to lead in the championship. Kirk's going to grab second. Sam Hayes is going to come very slowly over the line in third as well. Great job from him. Then Ryan Turner. Oh, maybe not. Yes, Ryan Turner with Will Johnson in behind that, and then Tudor a little bit further down. There's Gray. There is Tudor all the way down in 7th in the end after that incident with Ryan Turner towards the end of the race. And then of course we've got good old Bob, who's going to have to carry on for a whole lap.
Well, Bob's gone off the circuit. Actually doesn't decide to dawdle around. He is still racing after all, is Bob. I'm surprised he didn't just allow the leaders through, really, because it would just save him having to do that extra lap. But yeah, a good win for Chris McIntosh.
Yeah, great. You know, likes to check it, isn't it? What more could you ask for him? He did everything he needed to do. He ran away with it. He got off the line. He just almost had the perfect race.
We see Bob go through the mountain. So we'll see him over the line. He'll start on reverse grid pole for the second race. I hope he gets a lot further and actually takes the fight to the rest of everyone. Just see McIntosh trying to, going for a little bit of lawn mowing.
Yeah, he literally just harpooned it. Yeah, Bob's going to come over the line very, very shortly. Oh, Bob, keep going. There you go. Comes over the line, does Bob. Finishes off the race down in 8th place. Great job from him. We're going to be heading into race number 2. Flip the grid on its head with Bob, Tudor, Gray, Johnson, Turner, Hayes, Kirk and McIntosh. And that will be your top part of the grid. So it's going to be Bob and Tudor on front row, then Gray, Johnson, Turner, Hayes, and then Kirk and McIntosh. McIntosh will be at the back, of course. So that wasn't a bad race, to be fair. We didn't have a mass calamitous collision, but we had a couple of incidents, but nothing really major.
Nothing too major. And we'll just wait for this first race to transfer into the second one. And we can get the grid ready for race number 2. And hopefully we'll see a lot more battling all the way to the checkered flag this time around. But yeah, that wasn't too bad, was it?
No, I enjoyed it. I think it was quite good. I did the jumps are absolutely nuts. However, and Chris McIntosh just put in the community, the jumps are a bit wild there, and it did look like it was absolutely bonkers. You have to think what it's like in a motorbike if that's what the air they get in a car. So yeah, I think we're going to wait for Bob to get back to the grid here before it changes over. There we go. Just change over now. We're going into race number 2. Apparently, according to Chris, he made some silly mistakes, but there we go. He managed to stay out in front here, which is a good job from him. And an excellent run from Chris, taking out with him. It's going to be obviously just reversed on its head. Bob, Tudor, Gray, Johnson, Turner, Hayes, Kirk, and McIntosh in that order. So, yeah, hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. We've got one more race to go. And then that will be that one for another week. And then you'll be able to join us for the final race of the season at Anglesey. And we'll keep an eye on how the points are going to flip-flop around with Chris McIntosh sitting there taking a bunch of points at the moment away from Mr. Hewlett, 104 to 118. So a great job from him. And we'll find out where he's going to be a little bit later on.
And we've got the reverse grid to come in this one here in Cadwell Park. And it will be an opportunity to see whether the likes of Hayden Gray and Dave Tudor can actually make a race of it for the likes of McIntosh and Kirk, because I don't think either of the two were really tested in that first race, and we could do with some of that just to see if they can make the most of their racecraft and prove that they don't just win by starting at the front.
Yeah, no, I do fully agree with you. I think at the end of the day, you know, they're going to have to see if they can get to the back, to the front now, and that's going to be the thing. But everybody on the grid very, very early. Damn, just made it back in time for reverse grid, but couldn't join. A shame. Good stream as always. Cheers, mate. Hey, Jack, this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one. The jumps do look a little bit scary at Cadwell, I'm not going to lie. So, reverse grid now for race number 2. Just going to wait for the lights. And then we're going to be up and running, ready to go here. The cars are going to take off the line. Then they're probably going to take off halfway around the race circuit as well with that jump, which definitely does look scary towards the end of the lap. Getting that car stopped does look a bit of a challenge here, but let's hold on to your hats. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of all ages, get ready for race number 2. Lights are on your screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lights out. Is going to be green, green, green here as well. Bob gets off the line, and you see Tudor's got off the line at the same time here. They're going to be running side by side. In behind that is going to be Hayden Gray. He's sitting in 3rd place. Then it's Johnson, Hayes, McIntosh, Turner, and Kirk. Bob and Gray have come together. Bob's gone. Bob's gone. Oh, poor old Bob. He got sent off the side of the circuit and off he goes. That's allowed Tudor out in front. That's going to have Hayden Gray sitting in second. Johnson in third. Poor old Bob there, Tom. He just looks like he got pushed out of the way.
Yeah, he only almost took the marshal post with him when he went off sideways there. But we see Will Johnson down the inside of Hayden Gray for second place. That's nicely done there by Johnson. Gray just needs to settle back into a rhythm after what's been a rocky start for his event. We just see Ryan Turner go off the circuit again. We've seen a lot of smoke coming through Gooseneck. So a rather more chaotic start to this one compared to race one.
Yeah, McIntosh has managed to get himself up into 4 from the back end of the grid. That would have been an interesting one to get a look at his start coming into the left-hander now of the mountain. Through the left, through the right. This is where it just gets absolutely bonkers. Over this jump they're going to go here. Watch the air time they're going to get here from Chris McIntosh and everybody in front. Tudor's up, Johnson's up. Oh, it's fairly tame on that time around, Tom, but we've had some diving right up in the air like Ryan Turner did.
Yep. Just seeing them going through the right-hander of Barn before the pit straight. There we see Tudor and Johnson almost side by side, but it looks like Tudor's held on for now. This is going to make for a really intriguing second race. There we see Justin Kirk and Chris McIntosh go into combat.
Yeah, side by side. McIntosh is going to have the inside line. Kirk's going to have the outside. There's contact. Oh my God! Wow! Johnson, Kirk, Tudor. I think they had coming together. Johnson had an incident. That's going to put Hayden Gray out in front with McIntosh, with Hayes in behind. But that is literally Tudor, Johnson and Kirk straight down the back end of the field.
Yeah, it makes McIntosh's race even easier now. And what he needs to do is just fend off Sam Hayes for the time being, which he does so. Hayes getting way out onto the grass there, going well off. And that's allowed Ryan Turner through. Tudor's gone through as well. And now he's having to fend off Will Johnson.
Johnson there getting up close and personal with Hayes at the moment through the left-hander of Mansfield. Now on the run to the mountain. Hayes tucked in at this moment in time. He's managed to hold on. There's Bob in pit lane. Poor Bob. Tudor's there, got it a little bit wrong. Turner's here. He's chasing down McIntosh at the moment. He's trying hard here. Oh, through the cap. This pit looks just defiantly difficult. Hard on the brakes through the right-hander of the hairpin. Now into the next right-hander of Barn, but it's all getting a little bit sort of spread at the moment. You can see the spread on your screen now. They all look a little bit closer together at the back end with Kirk and Johnson. Everybody else that fairly got about a half a second between them. Just drafted each other at the moment, Tom.
Yeah, Ryan Turner looks like he was completely off the ground when he was going through the Halls Bend. And he's done well to get up into third place so far. McIntosh around about 2 seconds off Hayden Gray. Hayden Gray is doing not too bad of a job to maintain the gap.
It definitely is. He's got to just stay there. That's going to be the tricky part. 2.5 seconds for Gray. You can see now Tudor's just about to have time. Hayes have a go. Hayes is locked up. He's locked up. He's off the side of the circuit. No, he manages to hold on. Johnson's trying to go around the outside. Nothing doing there for Hayes either. He's not letting him through here. Johnson's going to have no chance. He tries to dive back up the inside, gets his nose chopped off there. McIntosh 2.6 away from Gray at the moment. Not really making a massive impact. McIntosh
coming through in second place. Field seems to be spread out now, so it's not like we've seen any proper battles on circuit. Still heading up through the mountain once more, the most undulating part of the racetrack, and it's just through this slalom section of the Halls Bend. Johnson's gone back in front of Sam Hayes, and I think Hayes has had a spin.
Oh yeah, I do wonder if there was contact there. Unfortunately, it's a little bit harder to go back. Tudor and Turner going to be coming close together. McIntosh got that time down to 2 seconds, 35.8. Gray's best time, 35.1. McIntosh, 37.6 and 37.2 for these two on your screen now. 40.41, they're a long way back towards the back end, but they've all had their own little dramas. But at the moment, it's all down on this man. Is he going to be able to catch Gray in front of him?
Well, he's put a wheel on the grass on the exit of Charlie's, did McIntosh. That tells you how hard he is pushing at this stage. He knows that Hayden Gray's not going to be an easy driver to pass. And he's got enough time to do this. He's got around about 7 laps at most. And to get the job done on Hayden Gray, which I think in the nature of these races, it is a lot of time.
Yeah, 9 minutes on the clock here. McIntosh there with Turner, with Tudor, with Johnson. All tucked in, Kirk, Hayes, all there as well. These guys are looking now. McIntosh got it down to 1.9. Kirk and Johnson. Kirk still chasing down Johnson. Wow. Johnson run a little bit wide. Kirk just sweeps through there. One mistake from Johnson, and that was about as easy as overtake as Kirk's going to be doing this evening.
I would imagine so. Of course, over the course of the season for Justin Kirk, making up for that error at the first corner of Coppice, or in the run up towards Charlie's. And yeah, he's left himself with a lot of work to do. I mean, 5th may well be the best he can achieve in this race now.
We're going to find out here what is going to happen. Kirk's going to try and, is it going to be, it's about 4 seconds back from Tudor. Gray's had some dilemma. Oh no, yes, no. It's up, down and up on the time and tie. Still out in front though. There's McIntosh still in behind. Not quite sure what was going on there, but I thought all of a sudden he DNF'd and went down the order. But 8 minutes to go. He's opened the gap up. He's actually come out, Tom, down to 2.1. Well, was below 2 seconds. Now he's back out to 2.1. Hayden Gray managing the gap, do we think?
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, looking at the lap times he's doing compared to McIntosh, the last time he posted a 35.4, whereas McIntosh posted a 35.2. It's just over a tenth faster did McIntosh on the last lap, but it feels like Gray is just about managing the gap, which is a fine effort by his standards.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job of 7.5 minutes on the clock here. Gray, McIntosh, Tudor and Turner have just swapped places. Tudor's gone past Turner at the moment here, and now he's going to be looking to try and close back up again. Here's Ryan Turner. He's got Kirk in the background. Kirk's looking to come forward as well, through the left, through the right, over the hill they go, and then it's going to be coming out the other side. How much airtime are these guys going to get here? Is it going to be a full up in the air? Well, we're going to find out very, very shortly. Nothing from Tudor. Hayes gets 3 wheels off. Is he going to get it stopped? Oh, yes he is, Tom, but literally by not a lot of time.
And all of this is allowing Justin Kirk to close in behind, so Tudor and Turner better be on their toes from here on in. Kirk, as you can imagine, is going to be absolutely flying as they head over the line. 38.9 for Tudor, 41.8 for Ryan Turner. Kirk did a 36 dead.
Yeah. Good job from Kirk. Now I'm going to try and make his way and see if he can get forward here. These two are going to continue to fight. It's going to lead that pink car into an opportunity here. 2.2 back out in front. 6 minutes on the clock. How is this one all going to go for all of these guys currently here as well? Tudor, Turner, Kirk. It's going to be a freeway fight coming into the final 6 minutes here. 1:35 lap time last time around for Hayden Gray. 1:35.3 for McIntosh. So Gray was 2 tenths quicker there. Oh, big sparks coming out of Tudor's machine there. Not quite sure. It looked like the front left bottomed out on him. As Turner goes right in behind him here as well. Not long left here. Now we've got this freak-out fight. Turner's in that horrible position where he's got to look in front and look behind at the same time.
Yeah, Kirk will be fancying it now. He'll want to make sure that Turner leaves him room. Kirk nearly drops it through the mountain.
Yeah. Now going to try and close some of that gap back up again. Lost a little bit of time through the right, through the left. Over the hill he goes. Kirk managing to hold on. Hayes getting a lot better landing than he did last time around. Tudor in there, 5.5 minutes on the clock. Turn around the final corner. Do we think, realistically, with 5 minutes to go, Hayden Gray's going to hold on?
Oh, I mean, he's been able to manage that gap for pretty much since the race had started. He did set a faster time last time around compared to McIntosh. So I'd probably say that Gray's got this one covered. We've seen Turner go too deep into Charlie's, and now he's got to watch out for Justin Kirk as they go through the park straight now. Kirk will go to the left. Ryan's, oh, that's a little naughty from Turner. He changed more than one direction on that straight there. He needs to watch his weaving before they get to the braking zone.
Yeah. Oh, Karma says that's happened. Gone and overcooked it. He got a little kiss from Kirk just to make sure he was out of the way there. And unfortunately now for Turner, he's dropped down below the 3. But Gray at the moment still in first place, still managing that gap in that Oreo liveried machine through the right-hander. Still 2.2 seconds. No real improvements coming in here at all. And Hayden Gray doing an absolute stellar job of taking this one. Whoa!
That's too much.
Yeah.
That was way too much over the curb.
Wow. Gray putting that car up in 3 wheels here. If you've ever seen a Mini fly, you have now, because that was absolutely mighty from Hayden Gray. But he still extended the gap by 2 tenths.
That's extraordinary, because that looks like it was about to upset the momentum of Gray's car, but he went over the line 2 tenths faster compared to McIntosh.
Yeah. Insane. 35.5 and a 35.3. Man, that is bonkers from Hayden Gray. He got air time. He flew up in the air like an absolute rocket. Landed the car basically on 3 wheels and still managed to extend time out here. Stellar run from Gray. Ryan Turner sitting in behind these guys at the moment here. There is Kirk. There is Tudor. These guys still having this 3-car fight. Going through the run of Park straight. Not very straight. There is a left-hander up here. Slight little kink before they go into the right-hander of Park. Kirk's crawling all over Tudor here. Tudor's hard on that defense, on board of the car behind Ryan Turner. Kirk's putting Tudor under pressure, but Tudor, you can just put your car in the middle of the circuit here, can't you?
Well, you could do, but he's wary of where Kirk's going to place his car. Should he maybe send one up the inside to attack? We're coming towards Mansfield now, and this is where Tudor needs to go defensively. He shuts the door. Oh, he got a tap. He got a tap there from Justin Kirk, and Kirk gets tapped by Turner.
Wow. Turner just sent Kirk off into the underworld. Whoa. Well, that's a rejoin and a half.
No, he'll be annoyed with that, Justin Kirk. No question about that.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to be aggrieved like crazy. Did you see him come back on the track? He must have come back on at like 100 mile an hour.
It looks like it, didn't it? Hayden Gray has started his penultimate lap, and the lap time he posted compared to McIntosh was nearly 3 tenths slower, but that's okay because the margin he's got at this moment in time is still 2 seconds.
Yeah, McIntosh ain't going to be able to pull 2.5 seconds or 2.1 seconds out going into the final lap here. So really for Hayden Gray, he's just got to keep it on the racetrack, make sure he can dunk them Oreos in milk after and enjoy it. Otherwise, he could be off into the grass here. Let's hope he isn't, because it would be absolutely stunning for him as well. I believe that's his first win of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct with that, because Chris McIntosh has won a race, Jack London has won a race, and McIntosh, I think, won the other race at Knock Hill, didn't he?
Yeah, and Hewlett's taken loads of race wins, so, you know, Hayden Gray here is going to do a stellar job. 1 minute on the clock. I don't know if he'd have enough time to drag. Maybe he won't be able to drag this out. I think there's definitely going to be one more here. But let's see how Gray handles this section once more. After getting that Mini up on 3 wheels, how's he doing? Going to do it this time. Up again. Same scenario. Dive down on the front left there, Tom, that time. But still manages to hold on. Still keeps that 2-second gap.
Yeah, but he's able to maintain the margin over McIntosh. It's been a fair race from Gray. Remember, he started from the pit lane in race 1 and came through to what I believe was a 7th place finish. Just see Justin Kirk back in the pit lane.
He's got damage, to be blatantly honest. Turner and Tudor have just had a little bit of a ding-dong. I think Turner almost waited for Tudor to get back on there. And for him, he's allowed him to go back out in front. He's going to resume that battle over the final lap. Turner and Tudor, your leader, is on his run down up into Park. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out, see where he'll be, and we'll pick him up as he goes over the line. But Ryan Turner, that almost looked like Turner allowed Tudor to come back through.
Well, it looks like it, didn't it? Well, Tudor's holding on for now. Turner's gone off way too deep.
Yeah, it could be game over, I think, for Turner there. Don't think he's going to be able to catch him. Gap up front, 1.6 seconds at the moment. Into park these guys go. Final lap of the race. They're going to carry on their little scrap. But what's going on with McIntosh? What's going on with Gray? Gray's got 1.5 seconds. He's just got to make it through the next few corners here. Is he going to be able to lift that car off the line? Is he going to take it a little bit more easier? 1.3 seconds. I probably wouldn't take it like thoroughly too easy. Through the right-hander he goes. Nearly got that wrong. In fact, he did get it wrong. That's going to bring McIntosh within a second. Turner now, Gray now has got one more corner. He's going to take over the line. He's going to bring that Mini over the line. He's going to take the victory in race number 2. Hayden Gray did a great job. Chris McIntosh comes over in second. Dave Tudor is going to take third. I think Ryan Turner must have had more drama because he's now a good few seconds back with Sam Hayes just behind him. And at the moment, Tudor comes over the line, wraps up that podium. 1, 2, 3 here. And there's going to be Sam Hayes and Ryan Turner who's going to come over together pretty much. Second race, a bit anticlimactic compared to the first.
There was more in there, I thought, but it was nice to see Hayden Gray maintain the advantage until the end over Chris McIntosh. We weren't sure whether he would be able to do that, but thankfully he did. And I did mention about his pace in race number 1, didn't I?
You definitely did. But then kind of rubber banded it and stayed at the back and got pole for race number 2. That's my philosophy, unless Hayden Gray tells me anything different. But we'll see.
Will Johnson go. Yeah, sorry, we just see Will Johnson going over the line. Justin Kirk did rejoin the race, and he'll get over the line, albeit a lap down in P7.
Yeah, and then we've got good old Bob. Still sat there. Not quite sure why Bob is still sat there, but yeah. Interesting races there as well. Sum it up for us then, Tom.
It was a nice race, well, a nice couple of races around Cadwell Park. It would be nice if we had a few more drivers, but we've got one more round to go at Anglesey next week.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to bring that one to an end. Thanks, guys. Great to get the win in race 2. Oh, Hayden, you should be proud of yourself, buddy. Still think you rubber banded race number 1 and stayed at the back though to get that front row grid. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Let me know if that is true, Hayden, or if I'm just talking utter waffle here. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for tonight here from the 150 Mini Challenge Cup Round 5 at Cadwell Park. Join us for the final race of the season, where we have got a new championship leader in Chris McIntosh. Join us next week, same time, on the JPB YouTube channel. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Tom Cairns. And as always, guys, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.